Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And if you don't know me, my name is Max and I'm a Russian guy who lives in China for the last 5 years now. And today I'm gonna show you my apartment. So it will be an apartment tour. I'll be happy to show where I live, tell about the prices for rent, about some life conditions here. Yeah, so stay tuned. First of all, I must say that we live in a pretty ordinary apartment here in China. Well, of course, there are smaller apartments in older buildings, and there are newer apartments in more like VIP or luxury residential communities. But our apartment, I would say it's pretty average because we have many friends here around the city, around Kunming, and most of the apartments look like this, in my opinion. So yeah, let's start. And first, let's start directly from the entrance. And yeah, so here we have the electrical lock. Yes, so it activates on the passcode on the other side of the door, and you don't need to take the key with you. You can just input the password and open the door. But actually, I don't really have much trust for the electronical locks, so it's always good to have one old-fashioned lock here. All right, and so that's how we enter the apartment. And as you can see, we still have the Christmas tree here, and probably it's gonna stay here until the next Christmas. But why do we keep it here actually? Because in Russia, we celebrate Christmas on 7th of January, and then we celebrate the Old New Year. So we celebrate the Old New Year on 13th of January. So that's why we usually keep the Christmas trees for so long. But I think we didn't have enough of it when we were kids, so it's gonna stay. All right, and so this is our living room. Yeah, that's where I edit all my videos, and that's where my wife hangs out. That's the TV that we don't use, and that's the balcony. So the view is pretty cool. We like the view, but it's not really sunny today. When it's sunny, it's a lot more beautiful. So once it's sunny, I'll try to record one more video. So yeah, we had the washing machine included in the price. So basically, when we moved here, it already was furnished. We just bought some additional stuff, but yeah, the dryer is from our friend. That's true. But most of the things they are included in the rent. So that's where we hang out, and here you can see my small tea set, where we have these small Chinese tea ceremonies. Oh, and yeah, this guy. Actually, we wanted to buy a dog, but we found out that it's a little bit problematic to transport the dog from China to Russia. So that's why we decided to buy a robot vacuum cleaner. So it's more like a pet than a real vacuum cleaner. All right, let's go on. And that's our kitchen. It is pretty small, I must say, because in Russia we get used to that. The kitchens are usually pretty spacious and we have a lot of surfaces to cook. But here, as you can see, to cook something more complicated, we need to take this stuff away, cook it, and then put them back. So yeah, it's kind of small. Yeah, we're preparing some chicken to cook here. Oh, and that's the center of our house, our coffee machine. Something that we start the day with and end the day with. Oh, and by the way, in my opinion, the kitchens in China are usually pretty small, but in old houses, the kitchens are big. I suppose because at those times, in those times, people were cooking by themselves most of the time. But now, just ordering Waimai or just going out, we have a small street food area just downstairs. You know, just to go out, buy this mixian or like fried rice, noodles, is so cheap. It's like 10 to 15 RMB per bowl. Like 10, I think it's a small bowl, and 15 is a big bowl. So sometimes I start to think that it doesn't make sense to cook by yourself anymore. Of course, we still do it, but I suppose the kitchens may be so small because there's just not that there is just not that big of a need to cook by yourself. You can just order any food you want, or you can just go down and buy and have a nice lunch for a very low price. Yep, let's go on. This is our bedroom. Yeah, well, everything's pretty simple. It's pretty spacious. Here we have wardrobe. Yeah, so just a bed and a wardrobe. And we also have one small balcony here where we store some of our clothing. And this lamp that I bought because I wanted to shoot more videos, but I actually never really used it. We use it when Diana does her nails. That's all. Yeah, nice view. And it's nice to have a little bit of sunshine in your bedroom. And that's the bathroom. Let's take a look what we have here. So, as you can see, the toilet is connected with the shower. I mean, it's in the same room. So, and we are lucky to have a European toilet here because, you know, in many apartments you can only have a squat toilet. And by the way, we actually have a squat toilet as well. If we go here. Yeah. So here we have the squat toilet and the shower. So basically we use this room as the shower room, and we use that room as toilet. Yeah, we got lucky to have both because actually when we were choosing the apartment to live, we paid attention to if they have like European toilet or not. Because I know many people say that it is more healthy, probably, or more natural to use the squat toilet, but we still cannot get used to it. Huh? A bathtub? Oh yeah. And usually in China they don't have bathtubs. In some like in some apartments they do have them, but it is quite rare. Most of the time we cannot find any bathtubs. Yeah, maybe in some fancy hotels. In some fancy hotels they have bathtubs, but in regular apartments usually it's just the shower and the squat toilet. All right, and also we have this room, but we don't talk about this room. all right, I'm kidding. Let me show you what we have here. That's basically our huge storage room. As you can see, it's a big mess. And it's not because we cleaned up the whole apartment and put all our garbage here. No. Basically, why do we have so many things here? Why do we have a storage room? Because everything is so cheap here in China. You can buy anything for like, I don't know, a small amount of money. Basically, take anything in your country, like in USA, in European countries, in Russia, and take it and split the price, divide the price by 4, I would say, and that will be the price of this thing in China. So yeah, we buy a lot of stuff because we actually want to send most of this stuff to Russia. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Even considering that the transportation expenses are quite high, we put everything in these big carton boxes, and we send it like one carton box is like 40 kilograms. So we found some transport companies, we send these boxes to them, and they send them to Russia. And even though it costs, well, quite a lot of money, it is still cheaper than buying all this stuff in Russia. I'm not saying that Russia is super expensive, no. It's just, it's very cheap here. So that's why even like including the original price plus transportation costs, it is still cheaper than buying it in the home country. Yup. All right, let's go on. But you see, we live in Yunnan. Yunnan is in the south of China. So that's why in winter it is super cold here. I already mentioned this in my previous videos, but today actually is pretty warm. So I'm walking at home just in my t-shirt. But usually, if they have the temperature around like 5 degrees or 3 degrees or 8 degrees, it is freezing in the apartment. I believe that the walls start to like get colder, and that's why in the apartment it is actually a lot colder than outside. That's why a lot of old people, they go and hang out in the yard, in the like our xiaoqiu yard, and yeah. And we also try not to spend much time at home, but there are several things that we do to keep ourselves warm. And I also showed them in one of the previous videos before. And the first thing is this small heater. It's our best friend in winter times. So yeah, it is pretty cheap actually, and it has different modes, like for 2, 3, 4 hours, and yeah, timers, and also different heating levels. Yeah, so we have this one. Also, we actually have one more in our bedroom. It is under our bed, under our sheets, as you can see. Yeah. Is it on? Yeah, it should be off. So yeah, it keeps the bed warm, and because of this, it is even harder to leave the bed in the winter. And also, one more thing is a small heater that we have here on the balcony. It also helps us to keep the apartment warm or to dry the clothing that we hang here. Well, and one more thing about Chinese apartments is that usually they have these tile floor in most of the houses or most of the apartments. And you see, in Russia, usually we don't use these kind of floors in the houses or in the apartments. We usually use linoleum, parquet floors, or laminate. Yeah, so we think that linoleum, parquet floors, or laminate are more cozy because they're less cold. And so when we just moved in China, we thought, it's not that comfortable, it's not that cozy, you don't feel at home. But actually, after some time, we started to realize that it's very practical because it is a lot easier to clean, and it is a lot easier for the vacuum cleaner, for the robot to clean it. So yeah, and considering that people usually don't walk barefoot in their houses, it is convenient. One more funny thing is that in many Chinese buildings there is no number 4 in the elevators. So here we have 3A, 5, 4, 6, blah blah blah, 13, 13A. So yeah, we don't have 4 here. In China, there is superstition that 4 is unlike a number, and it is because in Chinese language, number 4 sounds like si, and it sounds exactly like the word die in Chinese language. Yeah. It is pretty convenient to live here in this apartment, and actually the government does a lot of things to make the life convenient here. For example, there are many old buildings here in Kunming and all around China, and recently they all start to get these elevators. So originally they were not in this like buildings design, so there were no elevators in these buildings. But because like people get older and more old people start to live in these apartments, to take care of them, some construction companies and the government, they started to build the elevators like on the outer side of this house, on this building, and I will try to attach some photos. It looks quite interesting because the whole building is quite old, but the elevator is very new. It's on the outer part, on the outer side of the building, but it is pretty convenient, and it shows how much care they put here for the elder people. So now let's talk about how much we pay for all of this. My wife shows me that I need to smile more. Okay, so we have several fees that we need to pay. First of all, it's the community management fee, and I think it's 176 RMB per month, and by paying this, we pay for the elevator maintenance, we pay for this cleaners and janitors in the buildings, for those people who cut the grass in the yard, and so on, so on. So yeah, that's the 176 RMB for community management. Then, yeah, it's around 24 bucks. And then we have fees for electricity and water. I must say that it's also not expensive. We spend around 100 RMB on electricity and 100 RMB on water every month. Oh yeah, it's around 14 bucks for each. Yeah, it's different from time to time because, you know, in the winter month we need to use these electrical blankets and heaters, so of course the electricity bill will be higher, but still it's not crazy expensive. And it's actually very convenient to pay for your bills because you can do all of this in your WeChat. Basically, you can just open the app, the utilities app, where is it? Yeah, and click on the water bill, and then just choose the amount you want to pay. The same for the electricity. Yeah, so you don't need to go anywhere to any communal service to pay your bills. You just do it from your phone. So let's calculate. Management fee 176 RMB plus electricity plus water, so we pay 375 RMB for this stuff. And so how much is the rent itself? We pay and it is 2,600 RMB per month. In dollars it is $357, but including the management fee, including the water, electricity, it will be 2,976 RMB or 410 bucks, 410 US dollars. So yeah, that's the price for rent here. And I must say that our apartment is located not directly in the city center, but it's quite close to the city center. We still have some districts in more distanced or remote areas, and the rent is a lot cheaper there, of course. If you are curious, I can also post some data about the rent prices in suburbs and so on and so on. So yeah, what do you think about this price? What's the price for the apartment in your country? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section, and thank you. Please like, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.